guys, I am Stella and welcome to Stella 44 channel. Today I'm going to Cittadella in Malta together with my friend Cittadella. So walking upstairs going to Cittadella. Cittadella is also known as the castle. Okay, look, very beautiful here. Wow, such a nice place to visit. Here I am now at Cittadella. Cittadella, also known as the castle, is the citadel of Victoria on the island of Gozo, Malta. The area has been inhabited since the Bronze Age, and the site now occupied by the Cittadella is believed to have been the acropolis of the Punic Roman city of Gauls or Glaucus Civitas. During the medieval period, the acropolis was converted into a castle which served as a refuge for Gozo population. A suburb began to develop outside its walls by the 15th century. In this area now formed the historic core of Victoria. The castle's defenses were obsolete by the 16th century, and in 1551 an Ottoman force invaded Gozo and sacked the Cittadella. A major reconstruction of the southern walls of the Cittadella was undertaken between 1599 and 1622, transforming it into a gunpowder fortress. The northern walls were left intact, and today they still retain a larger medieval form. The new fortifications were criticized later decades, and plans to demolish the entire citadel were made multiple times in 17th and 18th century, but were never carried out. The Cittadella briefly saw action during the French invasion and subsequent uprising in 1791. In both cases, the fortress surrendered without much of fight. It remained a military installation until it was demolished by the British on April 1, 1868. The Cittadella contains churches and other historic buildings, including the Cathedral of Assumption, which was built between 1697 and 1711 on the site of earlier church. The Citadel has been included on Malta's tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites since 1998. Although there is only limited evidence of Neolithic remains in the Cittadella or Victoria, it is likely that the area has been inhabited since the Stone Age, given its size and strategic position. Ceramic discovered inside the Cittadella suggests that the area was settlement in prehistory. Archaeological remains such as pottery shows that the site of the Cittadella was definitely inhabited during the Bronze Age. In the Tarxian Cemetery in Borg in Nadja Praise of Malta's prehistoric Bronze Age silos were discovered outside the Cittadella in the 19th century, suggesting that during this period the settlement was larger than the present-day citadel. The Victoria area remained the main settlement on Gozo throughout the Phoenician and Roman periods, and it became a settlement known as Gaulos or Glauconic Civitas. The city consisted of an acropolis on the site of the Cittadella and a fortified town in an area now occupied by the part of Victoria. temple dedicated to Juno is said to have stood on the site now occupied by the cathedral. A few inscriptions and architectural fragments from Gallus have survived, including a 2nd century AD Latin inscription on a limestone block that was reused in the main gate of Cittadella. Remains of wall which might have formed part of the Punic Roman fortification of Gallus have been discovered. In 1969, traces of massive walls were discovered during the building works in Main Gate Street, to the south of the Cittadella. Further remains were discovered close to the Cittadella during an archaeological excavation in 2017. During the medieval period, the Roman town was abandoned and the Acropolis was transformed into a castle. The first reference in the castrum of Gozo dates back to 1241. It was sacked by the Genoese in 1274 and a report on its fortification was ordered 2 years later.